I think it's fair to say that we are continuing to experience a significant health crisis in our community across the country. Certainly it is very observable to all of us that positivity rates in our community continue to escalate. In fact, positivity rates in Miami-Dade today are at 25%. The number of cases per 100,000 individuals in our community has skyrocketed from about 62 just a month ago to about 1,800 as of December 29th. That is unprecedented during any time that we have dealt with this coronavirus crisis, going back over a year and a half ago. Obviously, it is clear to us that these cases, this increase in cases in our community, is mainly driven by the highly contagious Omicron variant. It is also correct to say, based on medical expert advice and conclusion, that most of the individuals who are contracting the Omicron variant are not exhibiting, particularly those who are vaccinated, are not exhibiting the severity of symptoms that many exhibited during the Delta variant crisis. With that said, considering the escalating nature of virus contamination in our community, considering the fact that hospitalization rates are up in Miami-Dade, across the state, and across the country, considering the fact that notwithstanding the lighter type of symptoms, that more and more children are contracting coronavirus, and in fact there is a surge, particularly in other parts of the country. I think we benefit from better weather in Miami-Dade, therefore the impact is not as severe, but there is a significant increase in the hospitalization of children into pediatric units. As a result of all of those considerations, we are forced to do what we've done for a long period of time, which is embrace protective protocols that provide for the well-being, the safety, the security of our children, of our workforce, and our community in general. So, once again, we are revising our protective protocols going into next week. So, beginning Monday, January 3rd, and this will be the first day back from the winter break, all adults entering Miami-Dade County Public Schools facilities shall be wearing masks. Masks will be mandatory for all adults in Miami-Dade County Public Schools facilities. The same will be true for those individuals who work on school buses, meaning bus drivers, bus aides, and attendants shall be required to wear masks. Inside our schools, the workforce at all levels, parents, visitors, business entities, and contractors will be required to wear masks. Secondly, while facial coverings are not required or permitted in the state of Florida as a result of both recent legislation as well as court action, we are strongly encouraging students, all students at all grade levels, to wear masks at all times, with the exception of the times they would be outdoors, appropriately distanced from their colleagues, or of course during the times that they would be in the cafeteria or in their classrooms eating their breakfast or lunch. We will continue to enforce and emphasize the safety protocols that have worked well for our school system. Social distancing in schools, maximizing the utilization of non-traditional spaces, including outdoor spaces for both instruction as well as meals while in school. In addition to that, I want to be clear about this. We are in consultation with legal entities and many other individuals. We will be in consultation with our school board to explore all available means, including legal means, of increasing protective measures for our students in light of current legislation in the state of Florida. That will require consultation with the board and our legal team. Obviously, all spectators going into next week and weeks to come, all spectators at athletic events shall be required to wear facial coverings as well. I want to speak a little bit about quarantining and self-isolation. As a result of recently released CDC guidelines for quarantining, we will be following those guidelines, which will require no more than 5 days of quarantining for individuals after they had contact with the virus, even if they had symptoms, but as long as 24 hours prior to them returning to the work site, they have no fever. Without fever-suppressing medication, they will be allowed to return. So that means there's a 5-day window. This is especially important in light of the recent holidays and family gatherings across the community. That means for anyone who had symptoms as late as December 29th, as long as they have improved, they have no fever without fever-suppressing medication, they can return back to work on January 3rd. In addition to that, we will be facing, no doubt, a number of circumstances where both employees and students will have to quarantine. And we will follow the CDC guidelines specific to quarantining of employees. I want to remind the listening and viewing community that recent legislation in the state of Florida prohibits us as a school district, as well as all other school districts in the state of Florida, from mandating a quarantining of a student as long as they do not have symptoms on the basis of simple contact. Obviously, we're not in agreement with that disposition. It is a matter of law, one that we shall be reviewing with our legal team in consultation with the board. For students who may be required to quarantine, I'm asking parents to access our website resources at icp.dadeschools.net. You will have a lot of resources and information, but the important point here is that we want to maintain the continuity of learning for students. That means for students who may be quarantined, please call your child's school, speak with your child's principal, assistant principal, or teacher, and that child will be able to click on and virtually access the classroom where their teachers and peers will be learning via installed cameras in every teacher's classroom. In addition to that, I'd like to remind everyone that we continue to perform the necessary actions and taking the necessary precautions and mitigation strategies that have worked well for our school system. That includes health screenings, sanitizations, emphasizing vaccinations and testing. Prior to sending your child to school beginning on January 3rd and for weeks to come, please, 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 parents and guardians are asked to complete the at-home daily screening, health screening for students. This can be done at backtoschool.dateschools.net. These screening questionnaires are available in English, Spanish, as well as Haitian Creole.